Hi, I'm the Moorlander and this is Moorlander EDC. Now recently on YouTube I've been kind of binge watching a lot of people making micro EDC kind of carriers and trying to work out what's the smallest or what's the amount of items you can get into a small pouch. But the difficulty with a lot of those is that the pouches themselves aren't necessarily small. So in order to have a micro setup, it's useful to have a micro pouch, and that's what we're going to have a look at today. So these are from FirmGuard, and these are the micro kit pouches. I have made some content on some similar pouches to these, which I'll leave a link whichever side that link goes. But these are some new variations of those pouches. These are ever so slightly smaller as well, and I think if you're trying to make that micro kit setup for EDC, one of the most important parts is making sure that it still actually fits in your pocket. So that's what we're going to have a look at with these. Now before I go on, these are live, a part of a Kickstarter campaign. The Kickstarter campaign, I think it went live a few days back. I was talking to Kevin, the guy that runs FirmGuard. So they went live a few days ago. And for the first time ever, I'm proud to say that if you have a look at the Kickstarter, specifically with the hook and loop version, you might find some limited edition glow in the dark Moorlander EDC patches that are part of that, which we'll talk about a little bit more when we get to the end of this. So less waffling from me and let's have a look at these MKP micro kit pouches. Now the reason that I've got 5 of these here are, these are the original 2, so I've had these now, I'm just trying to think actually when this went live, it's got to be over a year or so ago, but these were the original micro kit pouches that were sent to me, and they're absolutely awesome. The build quality of these is amazing, and these are made with this really nice X-Pack material, but these 3 newer versions are very similar, which obviously we're going to have a look at the differences now, but for the first one mainly is, if I just put those 2 down for a second, hopefully you'll be able to see they are still roughly the same size, although these 3, the ones the 3 here, the newer ones, they're just ever so slightly smaller. Now of course I will leave the exact measurements down here at the bottom so that you can work this out, especially if you're wanting to make your own little micro kind of kit, but yes, so they are ever so slightly smaller, but again, when it comes to being able to slip these into your pocket, where you get some of those other pocket friendly pouches that really aren't pocket friendly, once you've got that pouch full up, you just can't fit it in, or you can fit it in your pocket, but it's that cumbersome that it's just, there's no point. Whereas with these, whether you go for the X-Pack versions or whether you go for these new Cordura versions, these 100% will fit in your pocket and you'll have no issues. So just put that one to the side for a second, because we have 3 versions here. So all of these, predominantly the material on the outside of these, this is made from Cordura. The zippers on here are all genuine YKK zippers, and that's how you can tell some of these apart for a second. So if I just put those down, the version that we have here, this is the J Swag version, black Cordura on the outside, and then you have this really nice old school toothy gold YKK zip on here. I believe the J stands for Japan, which it's meant to kind of embody some kind of aesthetics from Japanese culture. But yeah, so you have this on the outside. Now all of these all have this small loop here at the top, so if you want to put a keyring onto here, or if it is that you have these in a larger bag, or maybe you're doing some bushcrafting and you want to put some fire starting kit into here, whatever it is that you want to keep into here, maybe you want to be able to attach this or lash this to something else. And I think that's one of the things for these that is an excellent idea. If you have one of those pockets where you've got something that you can can lash one of these into, do that. So you can take it out, take whatever you need to do, then put it back in, and then yeah, it's always going to be there. I'm terrible for putting things down and forgetting where I put them, so having things attached on the inside of my bag so that I have to put it back in there, else it's just going to be hanging down, makes perfect sense for yeah, somebody with a terrible memory like myself. But yes, so Cordura all on the outside, all the way through here, really nice zip on the front there, and then when you open this up, so I have this, I actually had one of the other ones, but I put my camera stuff into here, so I use this as an extra little camera accessories bag, and it works perfectly for it. So I can fit in 2 additional batteries, and they will fit in there. I can fit in a couple of extra cables, so that because the microphone that I use, if it's connected into a mobile phone, it uses one cable. If it's connected into my camera, it uses a different cable, so I can keep those cables in there. Let's take these out for a second, but hopefully you'll be able to see there's a small mesh pocket here on the right hand side, but it's exactly the same mesh pocket here on the left hand side. So if I wanted to, I could put them in like this. Now, the difficulty with putting them in like this is just getting it. I'm trying to do this. So there is, when you get this, it comes with a little FirmGuard sticker, but with the 2 on top of each other, you can still close this, but for me it actually works a little bit better if I put in the 2 of them like that. Move that cable over there, and then I can close this up and it sandwiches up. But for whatever it is that you're wanting to use this for, you have two internal mesh pockets that you can put stuff into, and it uses some elastic shock cord on the top of here. It's not shock cord, whatever this kind of elastic wrap around the top is, so that when it's not being used, it just kind of sits down there. You have a small micro kit pouch, and then FirmGuard logo there at the top. But then inside here, then there is another small zipped off section. So what I have is, again, because what I'll do is I'll do some editing, come out into the woods to do some filming, and then realise that I've left my micro SD card back in my laptop at home. So I can keep an extra micro SD card. It's not a micro, it's just an SD card. I can put that in there. And what I do like on the inside here, you can see that it's like a burnt orange. It's a ripstop material, but instead of just being square ripstop, it's like a honeycomb, not octagon, it's a hexagon honeycomb in there. Very, very nice. So that's the black version with the gold zipper on there. So there is also a black version. So this is the stealthier version. So same construction, same little tab here. So if you want to put this into something to make sure that it doesn't get lost, then you can lash that on. It still has an old school toothy zip on here, which again, I think I really do like these old-fashioned zips. They just, there's just something about these old-fashioned zips. Cordura on the outside, but because it's all black, you can see why this is the stealth version. Now recently I work for a large corporate firm, and yeah, we had to do some stuff on microaggressions in work, so I keep these with me now. Here, so whether you're in the UK, here's a small microaggression, and then if you're maybe in the US, there's another small microaggression. So I can keep these with me just in case I need to make sure that I provide one of my colleagues with a small microaggression. But on the inside, the layout for this is identical. So you have those 2 mesh pockets, you have the small zipped off section here at the top. Now what you'll see in this one is exactly the same that was in the gold zip, the J Swag version. On the inside, where all of the stitching is, to make sure that this is reinforced, you have additional reinforcements on the inside there, just to make sure that this lasts for as long as possible. So if you do need to do a small microaggression whilst you're at work, you can whip it out, knowing full well that your micro kit pouch is going to be in full working condition. Now the last but definitely not least, so this is very similar to the other 2, but this is a hook and loop version. But there are some other slight differences to this. So on the let's just call this the rear side for now. Still the same Cordura, still the same little tab here at the top, but instead of being one of the old school toothy YKK zips. Instead, this uses one of the newer reversed coil zips, which is really nice. Mainly because when that's on there, it's just very subtle, because with the reverse coil, the RC zips, it just kind of blends into there. I think this has got just as much as a stealthier look as the actual stealth version. But then instead with this, if that was the rear, then this is the front. You have a whole hook and loop panel on here. So if you have some favorite patches at the moment, here is my bear sharktopus, whatever that's called. So yeah, I've got him on the front. And then when you open this up, oh, actually, before you open this up, I did mention, didn't I? I did mention that there is a specific edition that if you back this on Kickstarter, there will be a limited run of some glow-in-the-dark Moorlander EDC patches. I was talking to Kevin, and he just went, I'll just make some I was like, no, I didn't realise you were going to do that. And he's like, no, I appreciate the support and all this sort of... He's such a nice guy. He genuinely is a nice guy. I like making content on bits of kit that are really nice, but also for people that are genuinely nice people. So he's made some Moorlander glow-in-the-dark patches. So there will be a limited run of these where you can get one. So it doesn't come with this patch, that's a Max Edition patch, but it will come with a small, Moorlander EDC glow-in-the-dark patch, which is pretty freaking cool if you ask me. And I haven't thanked Kevin enough. I honestly can't think of enough ways to thank him. But again, so here on the inside, I've just set this up. I put a few little items in here because this is, it's perfect for EDC. You got a small light just in case you need to be able to find things at night. Most things nowadays are all charged via USB Type-C cable. That works perfectly. Then on this side, I have a Zippo light in here, one of the clicky butane ones. Again, you can set this up however you choose, but in a world where people are looking for that micro setup, it really does make sense to have a micro pouch to complement that setup. So there we have it, the FirmGuard Micro Kit Pouch. In a world where people are trying to downsize to get the bare essentials of what a micro kind of setup in EDC is, they seem to be putting them into reasonably large pouches, and this fits in that gap perfectly. Yeah, love these. Now, as I mentioned, so there is a Kickstarter that is live with these. I'll leave those links below. These are the 3 that are on there. You can select between them, and then there is, as I mentioned, there is also that limited run with the Moorlander EDC patches on there as well. Again, a massive thank you to Kevin. Genuinely honoured that he was just like, shall I just make some patches and you can add these. I said we there. It's not. I haven't invested in this company at all. He was just like, I appreciate you making content on these, and it just so happens that they are awesome little pouches as well. So anyway, right. So of course I'll leave those links below so that you can see more from FirmGuard. You can see more from the micro kit pouches. You can see more from the Kickstarter. As I mentioned, that is already live. Links below. I'll leave some of my social media links below for here on Moorlander EDC and my sister channel, Moorlander Tactical, where we look at more kind of everyday tactical gear. And of course, whether you're watching this on YouTube or Rumble, as always, stay safe, stay Moorlander, and stay EDC. Hi, I'm the Moorlander, and this is Moorlander EDC. Now, I've seen a lot of these videos recently, and I don't know what I was going to say. That was weird. I don't know why I did that. Oh, by the way, there's a microaggression for you. I've just been talking for 30 seconds. The camera's set 30 seconds. When you turn it on, if you don't hit record for 30 seconds, it'll turn off. I've just been talking for 30 seconds and didn't turn it on. And they were the best 30 seconds. Absolutely beautiful. I mean, the words that I'd said, I could never, ever possibly dream of saying those words again. They were just so beautiful. Now they're lost into time, into the ether, like tears in the rain. Now the reason that I've got... Now for this small size, you might be thinking, what can't I fit in here? I mean, I can't fit my head in here. I can't fit my whole hand in here. I can't fit my winky in. I mean, maybe just the tip. No. Okay. Oh, by the way, if you're in the UK, there's a microaggression for you. I think everybody needs a little microaggression pouch. So whilst at work, you can microaggression the shit out of people. Maybe that's what I should do for the next Kickstarter. Maybe I'll have a word with Kevin and we'll do microaggression pouches. That'd be quite funny. That would actually genuinely be quite funny. I'll mention it to him. Two birds just having a fight over there. Real birds, avians, not females. That would be very derogatory if I called them birds. You call them chicks. It's 2005. 2025. Super minimal as far as your kit's concerned. It makes 100% sense. That was a stupid thing to say.